Some people are just wired differently. We think differently, we act differently, and you might be one of those people. You know, most people want to be around other people. They have to be around a crowd. They have to have all kinds of friends. They have to have people come to their house to watch the football game or to watch the UFC event or whatever. They have to socialize. They have to have friends. They have to go out to bars. They have to do all these things that the vast majority of people do because they have to be around other people. They can't stand to be by themselves, can't stand their own thoughts. And I don't have anything against people. You know, I have a few friends, but when it comes to having a lot of friends, I don't. When it comes to hanging out with a lot of people, I don't. And it's not that I don't like people, it's that I'm selective about who I hang out with or who I spend my time with, and I'm perfectly happy just to be by myself. But a lot of people, they can't do that, so they will hang around with pretty much anyone just to have someone else around. And if you're that way, you can choose a lot of bad friends. You get yourself in a lot of trouble by doing that, and you'll get a lot of friends that aren't loyal at all. Friends that will talk about you behind your back, they will tell lies. If something happened, they would try to testify against you in court or whatever. They would break you and your girlfriend up, break you and your husband up. They would sleep with your girlfriend or husband or whatever because they're not real friends. It's difficult to find a real friend. You need to be selective when it comes to choosing friends. Don't be one of those people that just has to have someone around all the time. I think that is one reason that a lot of people can't stay unmarried very long. They will get married and get divorced after about 5 or 6 years. That's usually about the norm now. 4 to 6 years, divorce comes. And then it seems like that both these people that get divorced will get back in another relationship as quickly as they possibly can because they can't stand to be alone. They can't stand to be at their own thoughts. They can't sit at home and watch a sporting event by themselves or watch a television show. They can't go anywhere by themselves. They want to have someone else around all the time. Someone to talk to, someone to be there. And they will choose the wrong people just to have someone around. They will marry people they don't really even love, don't care about at all, just to have someone around for convenience. That happens a whole lot. That's why it ends in divorce a lot of times. Nothing in common at all, no mutual interest or anything, but they'll still get married. And people do that with friends also. You know, they'll find people to be friends with, hang out with, who they don't really even like. They don't really even like these people. They'll still spend their time hanging around with these people because they want to have friends. And they want to go out, and they want to go on Facebook and post photographs, you know, and things, and then with their friends and hanging out the ball games and things or whatever. Going to the drag strip or the monster truck rally or the tractor pull or whatever. They want to have people around all the time. They can't go by themselves. They can't enjoy themselves if they're by themselves. They have to have people all the time. And that is fine if you have the right people, but you need to be selective. And I'm very selective about who I hang out with. Even when I was a kid, growing up, I didn't have a lot of friends. Didn't hang out with a lot of people. And I was perfectly content to play by myself, you know, have my little cars. I would make little roads on the ground. I'd make little bridges and roads. I'd make little cities and everything else where I could drive my little cars around and things by myself, perfectly happy. I would hang out in the woods by myself. I built my own tree house. I would hang out in by myself. No problem at all. Happy as I could be by myself, and I still am. I don't need people. And some people are like that, but the majority of people need other people all the time, or at least they think they do. They got their mindset where they think they need other people constantly, and that's really not a good place to be at all. You don't want to be in that situation because, like I said, you will choose the wrong people. Just like relationships. People want to jump into relationships as fast as they possibly can because they don't want to be alone. They want to have a relationship, and it may be about sex. It's a possibility for that in that regard too when it comes to relationships. But they get married to the wrong person, the person they're not in love with, they don't care about, just to keep from being by themselves, I think. That's a lot of it. They don't want to be by themselves. But being selective about who you hang out with who you choose as a friend, who you choose as a mate, partner, marriage, who you choose, you need to be selective. And being selective isn't being antisocial, it's being selective. It's knowing that you have standards. You don't want to get involved with people that don't meet your standards. And they should feel the same way about you. If you don't meet their standards, then they should not get involved with you either. Same way, back and forth. You should have standards. You should have people that have, you know, if you are a decent person, you don't drink, for example, and you start hanging out with people that do drink, you lower your standards to that. Not saying it's wrong to drink. If you want to drink, it's your business. But if someone else don't drink and you start hanging out with people who do drink, then more than likely you'll start drinking also. The same way with smoking, same way with hanging out at bars, chasing loose women or whatever. If your friends you hang out with do that, then a good possibility that you'll start doing the same thing because your friends do it and you want to be included. You want to be included in that friend circle. You wasn't selective. You didn't get people who had your own, who mirrored, you didn't get people who mirrored your personality, your morals, your morality. You got people who just were there, convenient, and you want to hang out with someone, so you chose these people, and they will bring you down to their level. That's just the way that it actually usually always works. I've seen a lot of, several anyway, women that I've known, been pretty decent women. At least I thought they were anyway. And I had a girlfriend like this a few years ago, probably about 10 years ago. And she seemed to be pretty decent. And after a while, she started hanging out with another woman that she went to church with that done a lot of different things. You know what I'm talking about, with men. And then the woman that I knew started doing the same thing. I think they went into a competition trying to see who could have the most boyfriends, who could bang the most guys, it seemed. And this changed her whole personality because she started hanging out with the wrong person. So be selective. Being selective isn't being antisocial. It's having enough sense to know who you are and having limitations about who you choose to be around you, and being able to be happy and content being by yourself. There's no need, it's a want in having people around you all the time, constantly. Be content to be by yourself. Don't put up with bull crap. Don't choose the wrong friends, and don't think you have to always be out with other people, having the other people to talk to, because you don't. At least I don't anyway. I mean, you could be different. I'm not a psychiatrist, obviously. I don't have no psychology degree, but to me, I don't care a bit to be by myself. Vehicle going up the road there. I don't care to be by myself at all, and really you shouldn't either, because if you're like that, like I said, you'll get married to a demon. You'll hang out with friends that'll bring you down, and it's not a good thing. Be selective. Being selective when it comes to friends isn't being antisocial. Anyways, guys, how do you feel about this? Are you perfectly happy, content being by yourself? Or do you have to have other people around you all the time? Do you have to have that wild social life that a lot of people seem to? Do you have to be a social butterfly? Or can you be an introvert? Can you be a hermit and be happy by yourself? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video, hopefully.